What is going on, free people of the world, YouTubians, and everybody that loves horror? I am Dope, and I'm your idiot leader, and I'm back again. What can I say? This is Dope Comics on my YouTube channel. Anyway, today I have got a themed show like I used to have a lot of back in the day before I got uncreative and ran out of themes. But anyway, I thought of another theme. Most brutal, most disgusting, the ones that ooze disgustingness, the ones that just make your heart cringe with fur anytime you see it. So today we're going to be showing the most brutal, disgusting comic book covers in my collection. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, there's probably 20 of them, and they go anywhere from pre-code horror all the way up to moderns. And I've got modern fans, and I've got pre-code horror fans, and I've got people like 70s stuff, like indies. Guess what? We surrounded the board. We got everybody covered, and I'm going to be pulling out different stacks like a Cadillac for everybody. We're going to keep everybody entertained. We'll show a modern, then we'll show a pre-code, then we'll show some 70s or something, then we'll show another modern. So everybody stay tuned, because it's going to ooze goodness. Nothing left to do but do it to it, motherfuckers. Let's get to it. So anyway, first book. These are in no order, by the way. But anyway, the first book we're going to show, we might as well start out with a modern, because I think of the 20 of them, 12 of them are moderns. So we're going to start out with a modern book that just oozes disgusting, disturbingness covers. So the first one I've got, my favorite horror anthology of all time, by the label that's doing everything right these days. This is an Image book. This is Silver Coin, the greatest horror anthology of all time, and this is number 8. Check out that cover. We have a mop bucket. A mop bucket. Let me get the old Hulk wand here. We got a mop bucket full of heads, and I see at least 3 heads. There's a head there. There's a head there, and you can see the jaw of another head right there. We got an arm sticking out of the mop bucket. We got some eyeballs. Love the black cover. This book is one of my favorite covers ever. It's an amazing cover. What can I say about it? The black pops. I mean, that is all you need for a cover. A mop bucket full of heads. Where do we go from here? A mop bucket full of heads? A mop bucket full of heads? Come on now. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. How you going to top that? Well, let's go with some pre-code horror next. I'm just going to grab one out of the stack. These ain't in no order. What about Crime and Suspensatories number 17 from EC Comics in a blue label 3.5? We got this dude that looks like Don Johnson. And from the offset, it looks like he is, getting shot in the head. You're thinking, who would shoot that poor guy? And as you can see, back here, his woman is watching. This guy is getting shot in the head and brains are being blown out. But if you do further examinations and you look in the mirror, you can see that is him. He is committing suicide, which makes it even more creepy. He's pissed because she wrecked the Porsche 911 Turbo. I don't know what he's pissed about, but he said, bitch, you're going to watch this and you're going to like it. I'm going to take this little pawn shop prize, this 25 with a duct tape on the handle that I got at Pistol Pete's, and I'm going to blow my damn head off. You can tell he's been crying. He's tired of her shit. He's tired of your shit, girl. And he blew his fucking head off. And this is one of the reasons why we now have the comic book authority code, because of shit like this. Anyway, love this book. Love this piece of history. Great book. If you like creepy stuff, how can you not like this? How can you not like that, man? I mean, you gotta love it. You gotta love it, right? Next, let's go back into this stack. What do we have next? Next, we've got Sergeant Rock, the body bag cover from like last year or 2 years ago. If you bought the body bag, you know about this. Sergeant Rock, we got this big-ass German with the German tattoo across his shoulders. and Sergeant Rock just pulls out his gun and blows a hole through his head. I mean, if you look close, we've got teeth on here. We've got an eyeball dangling, and we've got a giant hole. There's another tattoo. We've got a giant hole in the dude's head. We got the gun smoking back here. Sergeant Rock does not play, and I think this guy is done for today. Anyway, Sergeant Rock #1, body bag. Body bag. Put him in a body bag, Johnny. That's what happened right there. They put him in a body bag. Let's go back to the other stack. What are we going to grab? I'll tell you what, let's grab this one right here. What about a Vault of Horror number 37 and a Blue Label 1.5? I had a 1.5 Blue Label of this, CGC, and I gave it to my buddy, the Book Abyss, and I missed it. So I said, I need another 1.5. So I went on a 1.5 Blue Label journey, and here it is. I mean, back in the day, kids are bringing stuff like this home with an RC Cola and a moon pie for 25 cents. This was 10 cents, and you had to have money for the RC Cola and the moon pie. And moms are like, what the fuck, Chuck? Where'd you get this book? You can't be doing this. Why are you reading about suicide? Somebody hanging from a bell tower. Love this book. Very creepy. If you look, you got the shadow back here. You got the bell tower rope. He's hanging from a bell tower. And if that ain't metal song right there, that ain't metal song. What I picture here, I know it's probably gruesome, but I think this is some preacher that probably stole all the church's money. And he was about to be exposed, and he was going to have to go to prison, where he was probably going to get bedoozled in the shower. And he said, you know, I can't live with that. So he killed himself at the church, hanging himself from the bell tower. Now, is any of that right? Probably not. But I can't read the motherfucker because it's in plastic. But anyway, that is what you get, and you don't fuss a bit. Back to the other stack. What we got next? Here's one that you wouldn't expect. What about a beautiful blacklight cover? Stuff of Nightmares by R.L. Stine, #3. I love this cover. I would love to have the original art of this. We got this guy. He's holding up a brain because he chopped off this guy's top of his dome, stole his brain, and he's putting it in his Frankenstein monster. This is a beautiful cover. What can I say? I love the colors. I love the artwork. This would be a beautiful piece of original artwork to own. What can I say? Whoa! Chop, chop. I mean, that one kind of explains itself. So what can I say about that? Back over here in this stack. Let's see what we can find over here. Over here, we got Vault of Horror number 31 in a 4.5 Blue Label. And this cover was so gruesome. It's a Johnny Craig cover. They made him add rain and kind of dispel it out. But this guy, I don't know if you can see it, but his head is hamburger meat right here because it got the glare, the motherfucking glare. But this guy right here, see if I can get it in here, has a sledgehammer, and he's out in the rain. And he beat this guy's head to a pulp. There is blood everywhere, and there is a hammer smash face, just like Cannibal Corpse sings about. There is a hammer smashed face. There is the guy with the hammer. He flattened his head out in the rain in the streets. Anybody gets hit in the head with a sledgehammer, wow. Wow. That is a brutal cover. That is a brutal cover. And I tell you right now, people like to get on EC because of their, pre-code horror. But the horror wasn't the worst. The worst was the crime and suspense. All their Vault of Horror stuff that had to do with crime. They're much more bloodier, much more hangings, much more suicides, much more murder. That was a lot bigger part of getting the pre-code authority on them than anybody else. But anyway, what about one of my favorite series I started reading as a kid? Twisted Tales. Twisted Tales only came out with 2 books, and we have 2. I mean, it only came out with 10 books, and we got 2 in this countdown. So what about Mama B? Mama B that makes them real good stewed potatoes. Mama B that makes those real good pancakes when you come over for breakfast. Mama B, you can't beat old sweet Mama B. She's in her 90s. What's to be afraid of Mama B? Mama B put your head on the damn mantle. That's what she'll do. And if you look back here, she's got another head on a bookcase. Mama B loves company. Come on over. Stay for a while. Stay for a while. Mama B. Look at her. She loves company. And there you go, William Shatner's head up there. Is that not brutal? Is that not just the brutal? Anyway, there you go. And while we're at it, why don't we just show another get the twisted ones out of the way. Twisted Tales #2. Bernie writes and cover that a lot of people don't know about. This guy here has a belt made of heads, and he has the rope intertwined through their eyes, through their ears, and he is wearing a belt full of heads, chasing 2 kids with a bloody axe. Great cover. What can I say? Love this kind of stuff. It's delicious. It's delicious. How could you not buy this if you saw this on the shelf back in the day? You'd have to read Twisted Tales. If you're not reading Twisted Tales, there's 10 of them. They were so gruesome. So, each one has like 4 stories in it or 3 stories in it. Go out and find these. Number 5's got a story in it called Banjo Lessons. It's the only way you can get that story because it came back out with a trade paperback with all of them in it, but Banjo Lessons is not in there. Banjo Lessons is the book, that the story that shut down Twisted Tales on PC. So, anyway, Banjo Lessons is brutal. All these are brutal. Go out and get you some of that. Oh, man, I love those as a kid. They were written by a lot of different people, but they had artwork by Richard Corbin and Bernie Wrights, and it's really cool stuff. So let's look at another book out of this stack while we're on it. What about just something that makes me wince? Why is this guy taking a needle and poking his eyeball in the eye? Am I the only one that winces when I see shit like that? What are you doing? That's pretty damn brutal. Silver coin, another black cover, another beautiful cover, another piece of original artwork that'd be awesome to have. How can you beat that? Pop! Right in your eyeball. That bothers me. It bothers me a lot. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty with this stack here. Here is another beautiful book. This book here is 68 Scars. I don't know if anybody's ever read 68 Scars, but it was a zombie story. It took place in 1968. I read all of them. Nat Jones did most of the covers. I read all of them, and I sent all of my copies that I had to Dylan at Dylan's Horror Channel, and he loved them and appreciated them. And this one cover right here, I missed so bad that I had to go out and buy another one. This right here is one of my favorite covers of all time. It reminds me, it's 68 Scars. 68 took place in 1968. 68 was also when Vietnam was going on. Vietnam was brutal. I'm a historian. I love reading about Vietnam. Wow. This dude here, he's cold. He's been up all night. He's been fighting the Vietnamese. And here, the Vietnamese are turning into zombies, so he's been fighting zombies too. He has that dead stare. He's got blood all over his jacket. He's got his gun. His knuckles are covered in blood. He just has that dead stare to him like he's dead. He's dead inside. Beautiful book. What can I say? Bloody, 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 bloody. Beautiful book. This looks like a piece of artwork that needs to be hanging in the Smithsonian for the Vietnam War. I don't know if he used something from reference for that because that's pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. Let's look at another one out of this stack. What we got over here? We've got, from 1954, Fight Against Crime 17, another crime cover. Crime is where it's at when it comes to brutal covers. We got a dude down here stabbed in the neck. He has been stabbed in the neck, and there's no coming back from that. This girl stabbed him in the neck. This is this guy's brother. He's now going to push her in front of the subway coming. He said, bitch, you killed my brother, and now I kill you. But anyway, brutal, brutal, brutal. We got somebody stabbed in the neck, deader than a doorknob, deader than corn cob. And now we got fixing to have this girl dead, too. This is crime. What is this, motherfucker? This is Fight Against Crime, Horror, and Suspense. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. That is dandy. Back over here. This is a book that came out during COVID. I remember reading this. I love Joe Hill. Hill House Comics was a thing on Black Label in DC for a while. I read every comic book that came out. And this is probably my favorite cover of any of them that came out. This is Dollhouse Family #2. Creepy. We've got a hand. We've got a dollhouse in the background. We've got a little girl's hand holding a claw hammer. And Daddy made her mad for the last time. As you can see, Daddy got smacked with a claw hammer. And I don't care if you are a little girl. If you sneak up behind your dad and you're 12 years old and you hit Daddy with a claw hammer in the head, Daddy's going down. Claw hammer meets head. Who's going to win? I say the claw hammer. So anyway, there is Dollhouse cover, bloody, bloody, bloody. Issue 2 of Dollhouse. If you're into covers, that's not a bad one to pick up. I really like it. I really like it. So there is that. What else do we have back here? We've got a couple here. We've got a couple here. Let's get into some of this. What about, this is a story I'm reading now called Freaks of the Heartland. And we have another hanging. Hangings are always brutal. We've got this old woman at her farmhouse hanging. And as you can see, the barn is being burned up. Somebody has smashed in the door. And we've got a woman, her shoe is coming off here. Her other shoes already came off. She got some dirty old feet. And she is hanging in the kitchen while her farm is on fire. So I don't know what is going on here. But this is a most beautiful cover. This is a crazy cover. How can you not like this brutal cover? It is as brutal as you could think of. And I love ones that leave a little bit to the imagination. And this is Freaks. This is Freaks of the Heartland. I'm reading this story now. I'll let you know how good it is. Written by Steve Niles. I read everything that Steve Niles comes out with. Always been a big Steve Niles fan. Let's get into one that's real artsy that just makes me sick when you think about it. This here is Ghost Comics #4 from 1952 and a 6.5. We've got this girl, all innocent, all beautiful, all just having a good time. This is a Maurice Whitman cover. And as you can see, she's got demons all around her. She's got 3 demons. She's out on this ledge, and they're telling her, hey, jump, bitch. They're pointing at the ground. Every one of them, jump, jump, jump. She's all like, don't know what to do. But they're telling her to jump. The demons in her head are telling her to jump. And if you take this book, and as you can see, it's not straight. If you straighten it up, she's actually already jumping. She's leaning. She is falling. She is dead. This is a suicide cover. The demons in her head are telling her to jump off this ledge, and she is jumping. So here is another suicide cover in a 6.5. Beautiful cover. This is my favorite ghost cover. This is Ghost #4. Beautiful cover. Poor girl. And look at the artwork. Look at the Maurice Whitman artwork. He was the best at drawing good girls and combining it with detailed ghouls and ghosts. So I love Maurice Whitman. I love his artwork. And this is one of my favorites. Sorry about the glare, but it's even more beautiful in real life. It'd be a beautiful piece of artwork to have. Next, let's go with this right here. I've got a Batman from 2020 that most people wouldn't think about being gruesome. But me, like I said, I'm a history buff. I like to do history and look at history and all this kind of stuff. And right here we have Batman #93. It is the Joker, and he is in a movie theater. And as you can see, he's got a gun. As you can see, he's got blood all over his clothes, splattered on his clothes. He's got blood all over his knee. He's got blood on his hands. He's got blood everywhere. And if you look back here in the movie theater, all the seats are shot up. And you think, well, it looks like the Joker was an active shooter and shot up a theater. And that's, But if you think about it, James Holmes, back in 2012, he killed 12 people in Denver, Colorado, and injured 70 whenever he walked into a theater in Denver during a Batman movie at 12 o'clock at night and basically shot up the movie theater. He also booby-trapped his house, and when they went to his house the next day, he had his house booby-trapped with all kinds of explosives. But James Holmes killed 12 and injured 70 more in 2012. This book came out after that. I don't know if it was a good idea for DC. And another thing about James Holmes. James Holmes dressed up as the Joker when he ran into the Batman movie and shot everybody up. So that was 2012. I don't know if it's a good idea for, DC to come out with a Joker cover where he shoots up a theater after James Holmes actually did that in Colorado, killing 12 and injuring 70. I mean, that's 82 people he shot with a fucking gun. Is that crazy? Crazy. It's crazy only 12 died out of 82. I mean, by the grace of God. I mean, it's weird. But this is a crazy cover for DC to come out with, considering what happened before the cover came out. Why did DC come out with this cover? I don't know. But I had to have it. So there you go. That is that. Let's look at another cover. Let's look at this one right here. This one right here, it is Christmas time. It is Vault of Horror number 35. It is Christmas time. This beautiful blonde gets up wanting to know what her husband Joe got her for Christmas. And when she wakes up, she realized he got her a casket. And she is startled by it. But she better keep her eye on old Joe, because he also got her an axe. And an axe to the back of the neck usually don't fare well, especially when it's a man swinging it and a girl taking it. So here we have Vault of Horror number 35. This platinum blonde really wanted something good for Christmas, but she got, she probably a gold digger because she got a gold casket. And she's about to get a silver axe to the back of her neck. So crazy, crazy, crazy times at Christmas. There will be blood on the snow this year. Good grief. Why am I working in a factory with a voice like that? Where you at, boys to men? Where you at? Down to 2 books. What about this? I live in the country. I've been walking in the woods before in the snow, and I was making a lot of noise. What if you walked up on something like this? These hunters walked up in the middle of the woods. See the hunters? They walked up in the middle of the woods, and what did they come across? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people hanging from trees. Now this right here is Creepy from Dark Horse, number 9, and this one I liked them the best when they're actually comic size. But anyway, I think it'd be time to quit hunting for today. I think it is time to tiptoe through the woods to the old Dodge Ram truck and get the hell out of there. And I'm going to go to Betty's Country Cooking, and I'm going to act like I didn't see a thing, because there is too many dead people hanging from trees to me even talk about. I don't know if they got their hands tied behind their back, so obviously they didn't do it themselves. How do these people get up in the trees? They got their hands tied behind their back. They got hoods over their head. They're barefooted out in the snow. That's too much for me to think about. I think it would be time just to go get some hash browns and some biscuits and gravy and act like I didn't see a thing. We didn't catch nothing today. Nope, no sirree. And for the last book of the day, one of my favorite, most brutal books of all time, Crime and Suspense Stories number 24. I love this cover. I've always loved this cover. It's very brutal, but it could be more brutal. This right here, we got this guy. He's already killed somebody in a bathtub in a basement. The body, the eyes rolled back in the head. Look at the crazy, look at that crazy face on that guy with the axe. He's ready to do some chopping. This would be a better image if he was covered in blood and he had blood on his shirt and the body had blood all over it and this bathtub had blood running down it. They probably couldn't do that, so they kind of took the grayness and blackness, and you got to use your imagination if that's blood running down the thing. But this is Crime and Suspense Stories. We got a dead guy right there. He's chopped up. And there's the guy with an axe that's doing all the killing. So this is Crime and Suspense Stories. Beautiful cover. One of my favorite books of all time. It is underrated, undervalued, underloved. Kind of like me. To this YouTube channel people, community. I'm underrated, undervalued, ever loved. Ever loved or underloved? Anyway, we are under 25 minutes. I've shown you a bunch of beautiful books. You need to go out and find these books. You're not going to find these books on anybody else's channel. Who else collects moderns all the way back to pre-code horror? All kinds of crazy shit and themes like this. But anyway, like this channel if you ain't liked it. And if you have liked it, I'm glad you liked it. And I hope you were entertained today. And leave some comments. Tell me what you thought about the books. That's the way you show me you appreciate the channel. Talk to me, because that's why I do the channel. Anyway, until the next time, read your comics.